Hello, thank you for joining us today for the continuation of our series Instapage Product Tour, Coffee, and Conversions. Some quick housekeeping items today as we get ready to begin the next few minutes. Please, if you have any questions during the webinar, submit them in the Q&A window and we will answer them toward the end. We will also be sending out a recording and a copy of today's deck via email early next week. And then finally, at the end of today's sessions, if you have any questions or suggestions of items you would like to see in the future, please share your feedback with us so we can improve future webinars and ensure they provide you with valuable and actionable insight. Now that we've gone over those, I hope everyone has grabbed their cup of coffee and is ready to get started. So our agenda for today, we're going to be reviewing some new and existing features inside of the platform. We're going to do a live in-product demonstration, and then we will have time for a quick Q&A towards the end. Today, speaking, we have Griffin, our product marketing manager, myself from the professional services team, senior manager strategic service, and then our senior product manager, Evan. So diving right into it, we'll go into our feature spotlight. The first item we want to talk about today is our new page templates. So Griffin, can you give us a quick synopsis of what these are?
Yeah, of course. And hey, everyone. So I just want to touch on three key highlights here. So first, we added 64 professionally designed page templates to our catalog. Then on top of that, we redesigned the whole catalog experience, allowing you to filter by use case, industry, and more. Then lastly here, we added specific page types such as home pages to make it easier to build websites on Instapage too.
Awesome. And some tips and tricks for choosing templates. What I would recommend from a conversion rate optimization perspective is to start by determining the use case for your page and then filter from there. So for example, if you are looking to generate leads, I would look for a template that is either lead generation or has a form type of some sort on it. So you can work off of that as a basis. Or if you have different product promotions or demo requests, look for those different use cases, and then you can add additional filters on there to find one that would work for you. So then the next item that we're going to be reviewing today are global elements. So Griffin, can you tell us what's new with those?
Yeah, here we really built on top of the popularity of our global blocks, and we're excited to now offer a full set of global elements for Convert customers, which now includes global forms, pop-ups, and fluid grid blocks. And so the power here is that you just have to update the element once, and it automatically applies to every instance you have it on. So this not only saves you a lot of time, but it also helps you avoid missing any updates.
Exactly. And so like Griffin mentioned, it saves you a lot of time. So if you're using the same content across a lot of different pages, it would be great to turn that into something like a global element so you can easily update changes on multiple pages if those are needed. Some examples are different testimonials that you want to use across different pages, but maybe you have a new one that comes in and you don't want to have to go across 100 different pages to add that new one in. Now you can update it in one global element, push that across multiple pages, different forms as well. So if you have a form that you're using across multiple pages, but maybe you need to update to add a new field or remove a field instead of having to go into multiple forms to update that, again, updating it in one place and pushing it through to multiple places. So then the next feature we'd like to review today is the new image placeholders inside of collections. So what is that, Griffin?
Yeah, so first talking about collections, which we released a few months back. Really, collections let you generate a set of landing pages from a shared template and content table. When we launched it with text placeholders, which allow you to generate pages with dynamic messaging. And now, as you see here, you can add image placeholders, letting you deliver dynamic visual experiences too at scale.
Yeah. And for this, what I would recommend is really choosing imagery that's tied closely to the content on the page. So if you're targeting different audiences and using different value propositions. So for example, maybe one page I always like to use the example if you're like a food delivery service of some sort or a meal kit delivery service. Maybe one page you're targeting the busy mom or dad that's preparing meals for a family, then family relevant imagery would be one item. Or maybe you're targeting the single person who just wants to have an easy meal at the end of their day, then you could change the imagery for that. So really make sure that you're tying it closely to the content that's on the page. And then other use cases include, updating different company media or logos. So for example, maybe you have different partners or customers that you like to feature on your landing pages. And maybe some are some enterprise businesses, but then some are small to medium-sized businesses. You may want to switch out those logos that are most relevant towards the audiences that you're sending to those pages. Similarly, hero imagery is another great area on pages to target for this, and then product images. So maybe you have a template for a product feature or a product promotion, and you want to easily swap out the different products based on that existing template. Product images would be a great one to use for image placeholders. Now, for the last item we're reviewing today, email templates. Griffin, how are those being implemented in Instapage?
Yeah, now back with a few more templates, but this time for email. Previously, we offered one default template, but now you have 9 templates you can start from, all built on best practices. So now you can stick with your favorite or switch it up. It's really up to you and your email needs. In all cases, the templates will help you get professional looking emails out faster and on your timelines.
Definitely. And similar to our page templates, I would recommend starting with your goal for those emails. So if you're looking at transactional emails, I would focus on using clean, minimal templates that focus on the action. For promotional emails, I would use more visual, image heavy with bold CTAs to draw the user's attention and really push that promotion. And then newsletters, I would look at more module content-driven content with a clear hierarchy on the page. One thing to keep in mind is that over 42% of emails are actually open on mobile devices. So make sure that you're previewing these on both desktop and mobile so you can see how that performs for both audiences. Well, now that we've kind of reviewed these features, let's see them live. We're going to go ahead and switch over to Evan for our in-product demonstration. So I will hand over to you.
All right, let me get this shared. All right, everybody should be able to see the screen now.
Yeah.
Let me get here. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is those page templates. You'll find them by going to landing pages on the sidebar and to create page. When you create, you'll see use case. This is the one you're used to seeing in Instapage with the different types of pages that you could be creating. Industry, this really helps you find like a specialty template if you are a specific type of business, say a beauty brand, health and wellness, these kind of things. Next, you have page type, and this is where you can find specific pages that have been built. Like Griffin said, you have homepage, about, contact us, the different things that you would build a website with. Then you have style and color. Style is kind of a tonal thing, and then color, very specific colors to these so that you can find one that really matches to your brand. Once you have that, you can, as you did before, preview whatever you're looking at and then select a template and it'll start your page. If you're looking for the blank template, it is no longer here. It's up in this top corner if you want to do everything by hand. But, try one of our templates, see how that goes. Next, let's look at global elements. I'm going to go to a page here. And as you can see, when I hover over this block, it says it's global. With a global block, you have the actions of disconnecting, and that'll actually make this into a regular block, or you can edit the global block from here. So let me go to another page. And this page you see does not have that global block. So we're going to go to blocks. And with this, you have global blocks here in the middle. Oh, why is it not showing my block? Okay, this is having some sort of weird issue. They do have a global block available on this workspace. So we will try it again. Look at that. Now we have our block. I'm going to insert this block and insert it into the top. And then we're going to get rid of this other block real quick. And now that global block is on this page. But let's actually see this. Editing this global block. So let's just change this text here. Once you've edited your global block, you need to hit apply changes. And it is going to warn you about all the pages that this global block is on, that they will be changed. And it does tell me I didn't review the mobile. Definitely review your mobile versions whenever you're making any changes. But I proceed, and now that global block has been updated. So we're going to go back to this first page, and I'm going to refresh it. And the global block has updated on its own. So that way you can actually use blocks and have them do different things for you and update them in one spot, and they update across everything. So next we're going to look at our other global elements. If you come down to assets, we have both forms and pop-ups here. So in forms, you can see global are labeled with this little global green pill, and the non just don't have it. So with that, again, you can duplicate a global to make a non-global, and you can take a non-global and turn it into a global by saving a new copy and then using that across different pages. There is one warning: you cannot use a global form on a global block or on a global pop-up because two globals for some reason really conflict. So if you want to have a global form, I would suggest using it on a regular block. If you want to have a global block with those elements, just embed one on there, and the version on that block will be the one you use everywhere. Our last global element here is pop-ups, and just like before, you see the green pill that says one is global, one is not, and you have the same actions of duplicating or saving a copy as global. And with pop-ups being global, this is really useful because on a page, you may link to that pop-up in multiple places. You also may want to use that pop-up as a promotion on a lot of pages, so you could enable it, and then you could, go back through and disable it later. So the next thing we want to look at is collections. Collections are found in the sidebar here, right under landing pages. And when you see a collection, it literally is a collection of pages. As you open it, you'll see all the collection pages, you'll see the template. When you create one, you'll just have the template and it will bring you into the editor. Let me show you that editor. So we're going to go back into the edit design. And from here, you can see I already have some text that is in these double brackets. And in this text, you want to make sure that you're putting the name of the field, not the content that you want to see in it. You'll notice these: address, hours, phone. I have the exact same ones down here. So you can use them in multiple places to get the same field used over and over. And then of course I have some here. These ones, if you had like a deck or a paragraph that's going to get kind of long, it is recommended that you use our fluid grid blocks. You can see the blue lines around everything shows that it's a grid, and that will actually grow with that field. So the other thing that Griffin was talking about is these image placeholders. When you select an image, you can also give it a name, and it's down here. So placeholder is toggle on and off, then give that field a name. And the image that you have selected here will be your default, unlike the text where you'll be doing it in that content. But once you have one set, you can then set the rest of them in here. I'm going to go to edit content. It's going to save my template. It did save it. I will find out why it didn't do that. So when you come in here, you'll see all those names of the fields that I added in. URL is the default that we add, and the thing that you're changing is just this end part of the URL. Your default is actually the main URL. So similar to a website, you have a base homepage and then you have additional pages, but we do it with the default so that your default version is kind of the fallback. You also notice that I have default content in these fields here, and that's what you put in the top, and any field that you have not filled out below automatically uses that default content. You can see my head and deck here that I was talking about, and that could be long, so it could kind of stretch out. Then I have image, and you see the initial image here. I can do nothing with it, but I can come to this one and I can delete, I can add a new image, those kind of things. And then once you have your images and your text set, you can preview these. You see they're yellow, which means that they need to be published. And you can publish one or all at once and kind of get your collection live that way. You can also add new collection pages. It will start with default, and then you can set any of that content and have your page. Lastly, let's look at email templates. So email is also in the sidebar, but it's all the way at the bottom here. So you have to scroll a little bit, but you'll find it. When you come in here, the same move to find the templates, go into create mail. It will show your template library, and you see a big view of what they look like. You can preview these. You can select the one you want, or if you want to do it on your own, go to build with HTML, and you do have to insert a full HTML email. We do not currently have an email builder available, but that is something we're looking at in the future. The thing to notice on these is the different types of pieces. So you have like a header and a paragraph and a button, and then maybe more text here. So when you select this template, it is going to bring you into an editor that has those sections built as separate forms. So the logo on the top, that title, subtitle, there was an image in there, body, CTA, then colors are labeled out. So this is for the button and the label, that accent, which was that background kind of color, and then of course your signature. So once you get these set and have personalized that template, you will then hop over to settings, set your subject and all your other things, who you're sending it to, who's sending it, whether you want to send it now or later. And then we do have a new feature that we'll probably cover in the future, which is automation. So you toggle this on, and then once you've published that email out where it's live, you can go into the form builder and you can select that email. And as soon as that form's filled, that email sends to that person who's filled it out. So that's all of our features for the day.
Thanks, Evan. So now we'll move to a Q&A. If you have any questions, please go ahead and submit them in the Q&A box. We've already had a couple come in. The first one, Evan, this one is for you. It says, can I use collection images with background images?
So right now, collection images are very limited. They are only used for image elements. That's it. We are definitely looking at what's the best way for us to use them in other ways, but that's kind of the technical block that we've had so far on them, but it will be coming.
Sounds good. Another one for you, Evan. Can you customize the email templates? So I know you showed us you can switch out some of the colors in the text, but would it be possible for someone to create their own email template as of now?
You can create one yourself using the HTML. Our templates are hard-coded. They are built specifically to render well in an email client. When we get to the point that we have the ability to edit emails, then that would likely be something that would be available, but it is not right now.
Thank you. Another question came in. I think we answered some of this, but what are some use cases for global elements? I'll go ahead and take this one. So we had already talked a little bit about, having a global form, being able to switch out fields, testimonials on there. For the pop-ups, I think a great example use case, and one I can say that I personally use is, after this, you'll receive a link to preview the replay for this webinar. And on there, I use pop-ups to serve the video recordings of these, right? And I have those linked in multiple places. So instead of having to create a new pop-up in each one, I have a global pop-up. So that way I can attach that pop-up to the links that are tied to specific replays for those. That way, if I ever need to make an update, for example, I started adding in the link to download the deck. I didn't have to go back and recreate those. I could just add it into one, and then it pushed out to all of them. Let's see. There was a question that came in. when will we be able to add the animations on landing pages, like on scroll or hover? So any insight there, Evan, on that feature being added?
Yeah, I know we've gotten a number of requests for different animations, and we've definitely looked at like what it would take to build some of them. I don't have a timeline on it for you right now, but we are doing some improvements on our builder right now to make it easier for us to make new changes to it. A lot of them for mobile, which is a big area. And once that's done, I think we'll have the ability to make a lot of new updates to the builder in other areas. And I think that could be a good one for us to look at.
Thank you. And just a heads up, even though we don't have this as a native feature in there, if you are a Convert customer, and you have access to professional services, our engineering team can help with implementing animations. If that's something that you're interested in previewing, please email me directly. It's Michelle with 1L at instapage.com, and I'd be happy to send you over our showcase page and a page that features some animations we're able to implement, but also reaching out to your CSM for any custom requests. We would be more than happy to research and see what it would take to implement that on your pages. All right. Let's see, we'll give it a few more seconds to see if any more questions come in. All right, let me go ahead and grab the screen back, Evan.
Yeah, all yours.
All right, thank you. So as we kind of wrap up for today, if you have any questions or want to view more about the product features inside of Instapage and you're not a current Convert customer, please feel free to schedule a demo by visiting bit.ly/ipdemo6. Or if you're interested in getting early access to any of the new features that we're releasing, you can register for our early access program, bit.ly/IP early access. So 2 options for you there. And then before we head out, our next webinar will be coming up on October 30th. We're switching it up a little bit. So instead of coffee and conversions, we're going to have costumes and conversions. So put on your spookiest or most fun costume and join us as we unmask some more new features. So upcoming, we have our new accordion feature that we're going to review with you. The one that Evan alluded to recently, form submission email automation, the new developer access permission. We'll discuss some more about those dedicated customer success managers. And then you can also keep an eye out for more sneak peek features in future webinars. Please, again, if you have any questions, feel free or feedback to reach out to us directly. Again, my email is Michelle with 1L at instapage.com. And thank you again for joining us today.